Hello everybody, Peaky Vapour here. Got another review on this bloody freezing cold day here in the West Midlands, although we ain't got it as bad as some people, fortunately, at the moment anyway. So I've got another review on another RDA. This one, I've been wanting to try one of these for a while because I keep seeing good reviews on them. This is a Vandy Vape Mesh RDA. Had to wait for this one for the slow boat from China. I think it got stuck in the Antarctic somewhere, never mind. But, so it comes in the usual box as you normally get, with your scratch and sniff on there. Different pictures on how it can be set up using either a single coil, dual coil, mesh wire, and another one there with a bit of a cross section cut out showing you what's going on. Keep out of reach of miners, and coal miners are terrible with these things. Yeah, so let's get it open and have a look, see what we get. This is only going to be a quick review today. I'm not going to spend half an hour boring you. Plus I haven't got to roll any coils, because this one I'm just going to do today with mesh. Okay, so here's the box it comes in. I had the gold coloured one so it can go on my gold G class and look the dogs, you know. You get an Ultim tip on it. Let's have it up. You get an Ultim start again. You get an Ultim 810 drip tip in a goon style with it. It comes with the standard 2 airflow holes, which you can move apparently by twisting the top bit here. But bloody hell, it's hard at the minute because it's new, as most of them are. So what I'll probably do, I'll probably leave it open actually, but what you can do is when you do finally get the top off, which I'll show you in a minute, you can put some juice around the O-ring and it makes it slide around a lot easier. On the bottom, this one actually comes with a bit of a plastic protector, which you don't normally get, but it says Mesh RDA. It's got the Vandy Vape logo. It's Church of England and don't vape in a bin. Right, Vic. What's that say? Some sort of serial number on the bottom. Designed and manufactured by Vandy Vape. Okay. Right, let me get my mod. Let's get this mech mod just so I can easily. Normally you'd screw this to your build deck, you know. But I can't be bothered today. Right, that's pulled the top off. So what we can do then is push it out. Okay, so to take the tip off, you've got your typical bell-shaped, as they're all doing these days in these RDAs, in the top part of the chamber, which apparently is to help the flavour. You get 3 slots. You get 2 completely opposite each other, which line up perfectly with the air holes on the actual main chamber, so that gives you a fully open airflow. You can move it around and just have the offset, which is that one there, the offset air hole on just one of them, which limits obviously your air hole, your airflow to just the one side. Maybe that's good for one single coil, I don't know. But I'm gonna, as I say, there's the O-rings there, and you can put some e-liquid on that to make it slide around easier. But we'll pop that back in, and I'm going to line it up. So I've got both air holes open to start with. I'll put the drip tip back on. Looking at the top, by the way, before I put the drip tip back on, it's a typical Vandy Vape engraved in the top by the drip tip. So I'll pop that back on there. Yeah, let's take this off the mod. Right, very weird looking deck. It's an RDA, but there's not very much of a well. There's very little of a well actually, so I'm a bit worried about that. But there's a hole there, but it's not. This is a bottom feeder though as well. You can use it as a bottom feeder, which is probably well, I don't know, we'll see. There's been a few bad reviews about the bottom feeding on this because of the way that the cotton sits pretty much on top of the hole to stop any juice coming out, so it's a bit weird, but we'll have a look. Maybe there's a way you can set your cotton. Maybe it works better if you use the bottom feeding if you've got dual coils, but basically what you've got there on the top is 2 slots, and the way this works is it traps either the mesh, which you put in a loop into the 2 slots and then put your cotton through, so that traps the mesh either side, or obviously you can use a single coil and put your coil legs in the slots either side and trap them in. Your screws are on the side here and here, so that opens and closes the jaws in the slots to trap the mesh or to trap your coil legs. Pretty straightforward, not a lot to it. As I say, it can be used as a dripper. You can remove the bottom post pin, and you do get, let's have a look at the spare that you get. He says as he tries to open the box. Okay. Well, first of all, you get another 810 goon style drip tip. This one's in a Delrin with a knurled top, which I hate, purely because it just gets gunked up with lip juice, for want of a better word, and it's really difficult to clean and it looks gross when you go out. So I never use those. Don't know whether you don't send a stainless one, or I don't know, maybe even a narrower 810 rather than the goon style one, but never mind. Everybody's got loads of drip tips, so you can just swap them over. I don't know if you get an adapter. Let's have a look in the box. You get your typical booklet in there, which is just 60 million languages on how to use it. You do get a 510 adapter to pop in there, so you can use your 510 drip tips. You get an Allen key, an IQ Allen key, which I've got 6 billion of, so if anybody wants one, I'll put them on eBay for you for a tenner each. Okay. You get a Action Man screwdriver, yep, which is a normal flathead screwdriver. There's your bottom feeding pin that you can swap with the 510 pin that's in there, so you can bottom feed and squonk through it. Not going to do that today, but we will have a look, see how the cotton sits when using the mesh, to see if all the bad reviews about it, if there's any easy way of overcoming the cotton from blocking the bottom feeding, or as I would suspect it's probably easier to bottom feed using coils either side of that hole, so that the cotton doesn't, or nothing impedes the little hole where the juice comes into it from your squonk. What else you get? You get 2 spare screws. They look to be gold plated, but I could be wrong. Bought a lot of gold in my time, and 90% of that's turned out to be silver. Okay, you get a load of spare O-rings, all one size, which is all you need really, because you've got 2 on your base. You got 1 on the top, where the top of the chamber sits in. And that's about it. Right, oh actually it's not it, only just underneath this little magic booklet here is another little bag, few bags of goodies. So in the little bags of goodies, what they send you some mesh, which is pretty cool. You get some Canthal mesh, I don't know, 3 or 4 pieces of Canthal mesh, Canthal A1. You get some NI80 mesh, 3 or 4 pieces of that. I'm just going to make a note of the width of that, because I'm going to cut my own from a coil of mesh that I've got. So you get some NI80, 3 or 4 pieces again, maybe even more than that. So there's plenty in there. And you get some SS316L mesh, which is pretty cool. And that's the type of wire or coil or mesh rather that I prefer to use. It seems to be a lot cleaner for me. I know it takes a while to ramp up, but you know, each to his own. So let me just have a quick look at this. It looks to be about 3/4 of a centimetre wide. That's okay, just so I know. That's about 1.5 inches long. Okay, because that's what I'll be cutting from. When I bought the actual RDA, I also purchased some Vandy Vape, I sound like a Dutchman, some Vandy Vape Mesh wire in SS316L. and looking at it, it looks to be about a centimetre or just over wide, so I'm going to have to trim that down, I think. Let me just have a look on the base. Yeah, it is just a little bit too wide, so I ain't got to trim much off it, but I'll trim it down just so it fits in there in the base. Okay, so yeah, I'll do that in a minute. Let's just put this rubbish away. Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo. Okay, I think there was a top to the box, but I don't know what I've done with it, so another one. Okay, so we'll slide you away out the way, move you out the way. Yeah, I'm just going to grab my build deck and come back. I'll get this on there and get it meshed up and wicked up. Right, let's get this over here. Okay, so I've got me the deck on my 521 Plus tab. I've cut a piece of mesh off the spool. It's about 1.5 inches long. Basically it's going to go in a U shape like that into the slot, so I've unscrewed each screw on either side of the 2 slots there. What I'm going to do is just trim it down to about 3/4 centimetre, like the mesh that you get with the actual RDA, about that width. Don't want to use the mesh that's come with the RDA purely because I might want to flog this at some point in the future if I don't like it, and they can have all of the clean mesh, you know, the new mesh that come with it. That's gone somewhere. Okay, the dog will find you later. Bit of protein, bit of iron in his diet, lol. Right, let's see this now. How's this going to work? So I've opened it up. Apparently you can just put it in. Trying to find the right length because I don't want it to be too much, otherwise you've got to stuff it full of cotton. You know what I mean? That's way too much. But yeah, that's way too much. Just trying to think. Yeah, let's just chop that down to about 1 inch. Shall we chop it? Yeah, about 1 inch long, I would say. It's easy enough to cut with these scissors. Let's see what it's like now then. Pop it in one side and then bend it over and pop it in the other. Okay, so there, that's perfect, I think. Looks okay. Can you see that? So what I'm going to do is tighten it up on the one side, and in doing so that would help if I could see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'll tighten it up on the one side. In doing so it clamps shut on the one side, which is pretty cool. We'll flip round, try and find the screw hole. Okay. Push it down, hold it in place until the clamp grabs it. Clamp's got it. Yeah, it looks alright. Shall we see what the ohms are? Let's have a look. 0.16. Give it a bit of a pulse. I doubt if it'll get any hot spots. Wow, look at that go. That's pretty amazing. Wow, that's going to be some serious. Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool, I think. And if you can see, let's try again. Wow, look at that, brilliant. See if I can tighten that side up a little bit. Looking at it from an angle, it looks a bit up at the back, but it might just be, you know, the way the coil is, the way it is. It's ohming out after pulsing at, shoots up to like 0.23. but then it drops to so it recovers quite quickly. We had 0.23 down to about 0.2, then it drops to 0.17 after a second or two. So 0.16, 0.17, properly tight. Yeah, when you're cutting the actual mesh, it's a good idea to make sure you've got both ends that are flat and 90 degrees to the sides, so that when you do put it in, it sits nice and flush. But there you go. Right, next job, let's just turn that off, is to get some wick in there. So what we'll do, I'll come back in a sec with some wick and we'll put it in. Right, I've got my emoji pad of cotton. Now how to figure out what I'm going to say. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this emoji pad halfway against the grain, because the grain runs across, because when you put it in there it's going to go through, you see, through the mesh. So if I cut about halfway, okay, now what I'm going to do, and what I always do, is take the top of the cotton off away, because it's quite thick matted material there. Give it a tamp down just to get any stray hairs back on the pad, and I'll take the bottom off, bottom layer. I don't want to take too much away from the thickness of it. There we go. Give it a tamp down. So what you're going to do is just roll it this way, because that looks a bit dodgy. Just roll it up. Yeah, I don't think I'm even going to bother fluffing the ends this time. So all I'm going to do, poke that end cotton through. He says that's easier said than done, because the cotton catches on the edge of the mesh. The mesh shouldn't be going anywhere, so we'll get there. We'll just poke it through so you can grab the other side, like so. Alright, I'm going to pull it through. Now, from the reviews that I've watched or read or whatnot, you've got to give it a bit of a fluff. Okay, either side. It needs to be quite snug inside the mesh. It needs to be quite snug. So I'm going to fluff it a bit now. Same on this side, and I will trim it actually in a minute. A lot. Way too much cotton there. But it's got to be quite snug inside, because when it's wet, each part of that wet wick has got to be touching the coil. Otherwise you're going to get nasty dry, a dry vapour. So what I'm going to do is trim now at the edge. Yep, do you see? Get a little dicky bow going on there. About the same on this side. Just give it a good trim off, and then kind of hold it and try and poke it in. Now what might help with this is if we wet it. Yeah, I'm going to trim it a little bit more actually, because I don't think you need that much. It does help if you've got a good pair of scissors that aren't only an inch long, So we'll trim it off. You could actually just pull it through, trim one end. Let's just get that trimmed as well. So yeah, I've got to give me a pair of scissors and decent pair of scissors one of these days. These just aren't cutting it. Boom. Right. There we go. Little bit of a dicky bow going on. I'll try and push it so that it's not sitting on the deck wall as such. Same with the other side. Just got to tuck it in a little bit. Any overhanging little stragglers, just get them in there. Okay, that's fine. Right, I'm going to juice it up. So let's see what juice we've got today. Yeah. Illusions, Taste of Gods. This is good stuff. So we'll juice it up with some of this. Switch him on. Give him a pulse. So it sucks in the juice. See that better. Smells wonderful, by the way. But look how the mesh is just soaking up that juice. That's brilliant, that is. Okay, so it's going to take quite a bit of juice to get all that cotton, because it's quite a bit of cotton compared to what you'd normally put in a wick, in a coil wick. So we want to get it nice and saturated. Yes, okay. So that's about okay. Just give it one last pulse. Good. Right. Okay, so next thing to do, pop on. Now, unlike other RDAs, there's no nodules or cutouts that tell you where you've got to stick this so your air holes are right. So what I'm going to do is put the air holes adjacent to the coil, to the mesh, and we'll stick it all the way down. Just test the ohms. Looks okay. Let's give it a pulse. Yep. Right, next job, pop it on a mod. Just unscrew. That one. See one there. Right, so turn him off, unscrew. Got a bit of cotton hanging out there. Oops. Push him out the way. So stick him on my G class. Fantastic, he looks the part, doesn't he? Okay. Coming in at 0.11 ohms. Let me just, I've got it in temp control mode because I prefer temp control, so actually yeah, it's not 0.11, it's 0.17 ohms, which is roughly what we were getting on the build deck there. So I've got it set at 45 joules or 45 watts if you like, SS316L, powerful plus, so it gives it a bit of a boost on the initial power up, and I've got it set to 420 Fahrenheit, which is quite low really, but let's have it up top and see how it vapes. Right, back up top, got it, the Mesh RDA now sitting on my G class. Okay, as I say, it's in temp control mode, 420 Fahrenheit, 45 watts, using stainless 316L, ohming out at 0.17. Let's have a vape. Oh my golly, that's pretty good. Bags of flavour, bags of clouds, and it's got to be one of the easiest things to build on. Even with coils, you know, buy some coils off the web, pre-made coils, just drop them in them slots. Alright, you might have to jig around by putting them in first and cutting the tails down a little bit, but whatever, it's nothing, is it? You know, straight in, get your wick in there. You got to make sure it's fully dripped, you know, and saturated. So you will be dripping this quite a bit, but if you've got a squonker, I'd say probably the easiest way, hello dog, I'd probably say the easiest way is to use the coils when, if you're going to be using this in a squonker, rather than, you know, using it with the mesh, because there's no way that cotton's not going to be blocking the excuse my dog, he's got a bit of a flap on. Yeah, as I say, there's no way that cotton is not going to be blocking the bottom feeding pinhole if you're using the mesh. So I'd say the only way to use this in the squonker is if you use parallel coil, you know, dual coils basically, so you've got a gap so that the juice can come up. But other than that, only cons I would say is the size of the well. It's 1 or 2 millimeters, which isn't really much to hold the juice, you know. Anyway, another vape. I'll tell you what, let's put it onto wattage mode. We'll have it at 60 watts, see what that does. Probably blow my head off, but here we go. No spitting whatsoever, it's fantastic. The flavour's great. Let's crank that up a bit. Stick it on, you know, 80 watts. My God, you get bags of clouds. It's not that warm either, to be honest. Looking down at the coil, at the mesh, I can see it's still saturated. It's shine, you know, it's glistening wet. Anyway, this was the Vandy Vape Mesh RDA. Probably one of the best, easiest rather, to build on setups. As long as you're okay with dripping, go for it. 20 quid, 25 quid, you can't really go wrong, can you? I'm the Vandy Vaper. No, I'm not. I'm the Peaky Vaper. This was the Vandy Vape Mesh RDA. Like it, subscribe to my video, to my channel, like my video. I'm going to go now and have a cup of coffee because I can't get my words out. I think I've got a nicotine overdose. Peace.